Hi everybody, today we're going to be talking about how to attract more co-working members by leveraging Google My Business. This is part one in a series where we're going to show you the exact specifications that you need to adjust on your Google My Business to ensure that your co-working space can be found through Google. This first slide shows the growth of co-working spaces worldwide, and obviously this is a good trend to be seeing. However, this means there's going to be more and more co-working spaces opening up possibly near yours, whether it be in the same city or possibly down the street. This just means that we need to be more aware of how we're advertising our space so that it can be seen by prospective members. So what is Google My Business? Google My Business is a place that you can enter information for Google to disseminate across its web properties. This includes typically Google Search as well as Google Maps. In this slide, you'll see that the search query is the Canon Coworking. So on the right-hand side, you'll see what's commonly referred to as the knowledge panel. And so you'll see basic information about the company, including photos, hours of operation, and telephone number. Surprisingly, Google My Business has been around since about 2014, and even now we're still seeing approximately 50% or so of local retailers not participating in that they haven't claimed their business. So the information that's being drawn here is either from other directories or user submitted. So a lot of times this information can be wrong. So we'll show you here in a couple of slides how to claim your business if you haven't done so, and also how to check if you have. Here's another example of doing a search within Google Maps. So the search query here is co-working space in New York, and you'll see that there's a variety of co-working spaces on the left-hand sidebar and also coordinating map markers on the map itself. So clicking on either the map marker or the Google listing on the left-hand sidebar will pop up the Google My Business information. Here's another example of Google My Business information being displayed within Google search results. So in this example search, we've looked for Coworking Seattle. And you'll notice here that there's actually 3 listings in addition to an advertisement. And this area here is called the Google Local Pack. And so what's interesting about this is that Google uses signals from Google My Business as the #1 factor for showing your business here. So you want to make sure that things like your business name, categories, the keywords in your description are optimized so that you have the greatest chance of being seen in this Google Local Pack. This example shows the Google organic ranking. So you may be very familiar with this already. This is what typical search engine optimization is used to rank for. So these are the top sort of 10 listings that are on the first page that you get when doing a generic Google search. So what's interesting about this slide is that even in the organic rankings, Google My Business is ranked #4 as the top ranking factor contributing to Google organic listings. So not only does Google My Business help with local pack and with maps, but it also seems to influence your organic search results. So now that you know a little bit more about what Google My Business is and where it can be found, we're going to be talking over how to claim ownership of it as a business owner or operator. The easiest way to check to see if you have verified your business is just to Google yourself. So as you can see in this example, we Googled Incubate Coworking, and you'll notice that there's this link here which says own this business. If you see this under your listing, this means that you have not verified your business yet. Verifying your business is very easy, and you can just do so at business.google.com. And you can sign in with any Gmail account, or if you have a Google Apps account, you can sign in with that as well. So today we're going to be going over the core information, which is the fundamentals of Google My Business. And we'll walk you through all the steps as we go along, including best practices. So after you've signed into Google My Business, click on the Info tab, and you'll notice that there's these pencil icons going down the page where you can edit your business information. The first thing we're going to be looking at today is the NAP, which stands for name, address, and phone number. So the one tip that we have here is that if you own multiple co-working locations, you may want to use the name as a descriptor for the location. So for example, you are industrious and you have 2 locations in New York, including Manhattan and Brooklyn. You can say Industrious Manhattan, Industrious Brooklyn as the name for each of those locations. This helps to separate the different locations for people that are looking to visit. The next field that we're moving on to is the category field, and this is the field that most co-working spaces actually get wrong. So the 4 categories that we see most frequently is co-working space, office space rental agency, event venue, and business center. So co-working space is probably going to be the one that's most applicable to most of you. Office space rental agency typically refers to spaces that are shared office or executive office style locations. A good example of that would be Regis, which uses that category for all of their locations. Third is event venue, which is good for places that use their space mostly for event bookings, or that's a large revenue stream for them. And lastly is business center, which we typically see associated to spaces like hotels and where a business center is often added as an amenity. So you can actually choose multiple categories, but you should only have one primary category. So our recommendation for most spaces would be to choose co-working space and then add the additional subcategories or secondary categories as you see fit. There may be other categories you may want to add as well. For example, if you have a coffee shop in your space, then you can add those too. So just double check those to make sure that they match your business. We'll be looking at other fields as well. So the ones that you may see on your Google My Business page include service areas. So this field is used typically for businesses that go to your location. So think of like a plumber or an electrician that actually has a geographic service area. So for co-working spaces, our recommendation here would be to keep this actually blank. Hours of operation is a tricky one, as many of you have spaces that are open 24 hours. So our recommendation here is to use the hours of operation that you have somebody actually sitting at the front desk or somebody to serve a potential new customer. This is so that you can avoid prospective members walking in after hours because your members know that they can go to your co-working space any time of the day. However, you want to make sure that anybody that's new isn't visiting during off hours. Also, you can add 24-hour access in the description so you won't be missing much from a search perspective. Special hours refers to irregular schedules. Typically that's for holidays, or another example we've seen this being used is for spaces that are undergoing renovation or construction. So you can actually list those so that the public is aware of those special hours. Telephone number is pretty straightforward. Website address is straightforward as well. However, we do recommend using your homepage for this so people can navigate through various areas of your website. And also, if you have an SSL certificate, make sure that you're using the HTTPS protocol as opposed to the HTTP protocol in your website address so that it just eliminates one additional hop users need to take. Attributes vary depending on the category that you chose from the previous slide, as well as your location. So check that out. Some common ones that we've seen are women-led or wheelchair accessible. So just check off the ones that apply to your business. The description is often overlooked. Make sure you spend the time to write something that's compelling and attractive for prospective members that are searching for your services. I would try to keep this as shorter as possible because there's only limited text that's able to be displayed on your Google My Business listing, so make sure that it fits within what's being shown. Opening date is not really seen, so you can add that if you know what it is. Otherwise, feel free to leave that blank as well. And photos, which we're going to be diving deeper on. We find that the photo section is one of the most underutilized and undermanaged areas within Google My Business. This is a great opportunity for you to showcase your co-working space. And as you can see here, it's one of the very rare times where Google actually allows you to show images within the search results. So definitely take advantage of this section and be selective of the photos that you use. To manage your photos, go back to Google My Business and click on the Photos tab. From there, the first section we recommend checking out is the Identity tab. And from within there, you'll be able to see two photos which you can modify. The first, which is your cover photo, and the second is your logo. There's different types of photos that Google allows within Google My Business, including the ones you see here. Google's recommendation is a minimum of 3 photos per category, so try to fill these up as best as possible. So the first tip when choosing a photo for your space is to use a real photo, which might seem pretty straightforward. However, as you can see in WeWork, they actually use the same cover photo among many of their locations, which can be really confusing for users, especially given that they have multiple locations, often in the same state, city, and even on the same street. So using an identifiable photo for your cover is going to be really helpful for users, and it also gives prospective members the ability to see what the space is like. Choose an inviting and bright photo as well. You want people that are looking for co-working spaces to actually really want to work there. So try to choose the best photo that you feel depicts the vibe and the community and the space that you're offering. Here's some examples of Google My Business photos that we thought were done very well. So in this example, you can see there's a lot of natural light and you can actually see some members working. This shows off the entire space quite well. They actually have a slide going down their co-working space as well. So it's great to show off these sort of perks and features of your co-working space. This is a really bright photo, and not only does it show the interior, but also shows the exterior, which I think is great for smaller communities where people that have driven around that neighborhood would easily know exactly where that co-working space is. This loft style co-working space shows, I feel, shows the ceiling height off very well. And this space shows their pool tables and amenities that they have. Lastly, I feel like this space used professional photography, which shows off their space very well. If you're a co-working owner or operator that's looking for more members right now, check out our Coworking Blueprint, which is a custom-made guide to show you how to fill and grow your co-working space faster. You can find more information on our website at spacefully.com/coworking-blueprint. We really hope you like this video. Follow us on LinkedIn to get notified on our upcoming videos. Coming up in this series, we'll go over how to leverage Google My Business to post promotions, promote events, message directly with searchers, and even get tour bookings, all without the user even needing to visit your website. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to leave them in the comments section below or message me directly on LinkedIn or Facebook. Thank you.